Radical.
I'm going to tell y'all a story, a Subway story. This is not going to be like flea market stories. This is actually a self-contained story. This might be the only Subway story. And I'll see if I can maybe work in some Jared jokes. Maybe not. He's in jail, isn't he? Is he still in jail? Hopefully he went to jail. So this Subway story happened yesterday. I was at work, and I got a friend I work with. Not Kenny, I actually work with James. One point in time, me, Kenny, and James used to work together, but now it's just me and James. Well, I sent James, I gave him a tip, to go and get me some Subway. I hadn't had Subway in a while, and I thought, you know what? I'm in the mood for some Subway, specifically those scrumptious, delicious, damn good Subway cookies. I tell you what, there has never been such concentrated happiness in a food item as Subway macadamia cookies. There are people right now that probably wouldn't do things for you, but if you get them Subway macadamia cookies, they might do things for you. Maybe dirty things. I'm telling you, they're good. They're damn good. So my order was this. And the order wound up being actually a little more than I thought, like 11, 12 bucks. I got a 12-inch cold cut trio, and I got 6 macadamia cookies. And I let James have one for, going to get the stuff. I thought to myself, well, I want to get a lot of the cookies because I'm probably going to put some up and eat some later. But I was just hungry. I hadn't eaten anything in a while. And I ripped through one part, 6-inch, of the cold cut trio. And I didn't get much really on it as far as toppings. It was pretty much plain. I got like the meat, the cheese, and some mustard. I think that's all I got. I don't really go crazy with the toppings. I don't like lettuce. I just don't like a lot of the green stuff, So I went through one, and then I had me a cookie. Then I had me another cookie. And then I went through the other, and I just went through it really quick. And because it was so good. Between the cookies and that, I was in heaven. Good stuff. Really good stuff. Tasted really good. And before I realized it, all but half of one of the cookies was gone. There was 5 cookies in there, because remember I gave one to James. I had went through 4.5 cookies. And then I started to feel queasy. Started to feel nauseous. Then I started to look up, the nutritional facts of Subway bread specifically, because I thought, am I going to have some issues with this bread? Here recently, I haven't had a whole lot of issues with like rolls and biscuits, stuff like that, but there's something about this Subway bread. Apparently, Subway bread is not really bread. Let me explain. I typed in Subway bread nutritional facts, and something came up from 2020 where the Supreme Court of Ireland, of all places, deemed Subway bread not to be real bread. I think there's some kind of a tax credit or something like that. I don't know, but they deemed it not to be bread because it had a ton of sugar, way too much sugar than the allowed amount for bread to be considered bread. I thought, how much sugar can be in bread? Apparently, what I ate had between 6 to 10 grams of sugar in the white enriched bread. It's a lot of sugar, and that's a lot of bread on the 12-inch cold cut trio. Now, the gluten-free, imagine this, the gluten-free version of the bread has 14 grams of sugar. 14 grams of sugar in bread. That's crazy. Apparently, it has so much sugar, it's deemed as a pastry, which makes sense. Now, the cookies, the delicious, scrumptious, amazing, mouth-watering macadamia nut cookies, they have around 20 grams of sugar. Not in a 3 or 4 cookie serving. each little cookie. 20 grams of sugar. Also, high in fat. And if you actually look at it, if you don't just like wolf it down, you look at it, it looks like just concentrated sugar and fat. Like if you just look at it, you're like, this looks like you eat enough of these, you're going to feel terrible. And you're probably going to get like fat. So I noticed I was feeling bad. It seemed like, instantly my waistline started to like get a little bloated and I felt terrible. So I went back to work. I tried to go through with the work, but it just wasn't happening. I thought, well, drastic measures is what I've got to do. So I winded up bending over and going through like my process. I have a process where I do kind of like a front, kind of like wheelbarrow, kind of like a handstand. It's an efficient way to where let's just say like I have certain methods for throwing up. And I don't have to like, do the whole like finger like, ugh. I have certain methods where I can actually just like easily ease my body into throwing up. And it was just projectile. Just like all of it. Pretty much all of it made a return appearance, So I literally like, I wasted like $11-12. I mean, it was good. Tasted good. And what is left of that, my body liked it for a little bit. But, just goes to show you, just because you like it, your body likes it. Your body lies to you. Your body lies to you. And you want certain things. But, that's the end of the story. I got some Subway. James got me some Subway, and I wound up throwing up, Just a story about a guy getting sick off some Subway. I feel better today, though. That's the important part.